Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Joining me now is Dr. Tonsor, agricultural economist at Kansas State University. Dr. Tonsor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure, Kennedy.
Let's get right into it. As we all know, we are in uncharted territories right now. But for our viewers at home, what are some facts that you can give us about the economic impact that COVID-19 has had on the beef industry?
To give some numbers to this, I've been in the middle of multiple efforts to estimate the market effects. The first effort you can find on our Ag Manager website was dated March 21st, and I pegged the total impact on the beef cattle industry between $8 and $9.4 billion. Yes, that's billion. That's a large number. Most recently, and actually just this morning, it was announced, NCBA commissioned a study that Dr. Darrell Peel at Oklahoma State led. I was one of 9 on that study, and you can find that on the web. And there we actually estimate, as of April 8th, total damages for the beef cattle industry at $13.6 billion. And I can break that down by sector if you like, but probably the punchline would be the two main drivers of that I alluded to, Kennedy, and then the fact that we are saying billions, not millions, speaks to the magnitude and the uniqueness of these challenges.
And Dr. Tonsor, as we look past this pandemic and look to the other side of this, what are some factors or influences that could help us as a nation recover?
So as it relates to the beef cattle industry, I think there's other social issues we won't talk about here, but to your main listeners who are cattle producers, the U.S. remains a major protein producer and even more narrowly a beef producer in the global context. That is not going to change with COVID. The global demand for protein has probably taken a shock, but I think it's still going to be there post-COVID. Asia as a whole is a major importer of animal proteins. I don't anticipate that statement to stop with COVID. Yes, the trade may not be as robust as it would have been, but nonetheless, there are some positive opportunities on the trade front. And actually, we're seeing that in the February data. Yes, February sounds old, but that's the most recent public monthly summary from USDA I have on trade data. And across all species, including beef, February was a good month on the export front. And I think that is a reason for optimism going forward post-COVID. Maybe those Asian economies with a strong protein demand will help raise the bucket, raise the value of our cattle.
And Dr. Tonsor, you are definitely no stranger to superior livestock. You and your team at Kansas State led the study of our analysis of all of our data from this past year, sponsored by Merck Animal Health. And not only is that data used as a tool for our reps and their consigners to make decisions, on their own operations, but it also is truly used industry-wide. Let's talk about that and some of the findings that y'all found in that study.
Yeah, so Dr. Renter, also here at Kansas State University over in the vet school, and I, this was the first year we partnered with Merck Animal Health to do that. We're happy to do that. And there are way too many details to talk about, but I took note of 2 main points. First and foremost is there's a long list of traits or characteristics of calves and how they're sold that ultimately do impact the price received by the consignor. And here's the list, just to rattle them off for everybody. Weight, lot size, sex, frame, flesh, weight variation, whether they're horned or not, the VAC program you're enrolled in, breed, progressive genetics, BQA program, gap, and I'll stop there, but that's only half. The punchline of that is there's a long list of things that affect calf prices, and for the most part that holds in our feeder cattle yearling assessment as well. You have to control for them in an analysis to get an accurate assessment of how a specific trait impacts the cattle price. You can't just look at simple averages because we often find these things are confounded. For example, non-hormone treated cattle tend to have other things that are different as well, maybe a more uniform lot than some others. So one can't just look at simple reported prices. Of course, that's the academic geek in me that's going to make that point, but I truly believe it. You need to have a careful assessment to get a more accurate assessment of the benefit in your pocketbook. The second main point, Kennedy, I'll highlight is this year we added compared to the past, regional differences. So we took a national look, again, taking SLA data to figure out what the effect of different traits are on calf prices, for example. But we also broke those results down by region.
Dr. Tonsor, we appreciate everything that you have done for Superior Livestock. We appreciate you being on with us this morning. Thank you.